Evening, everyone. Well, this evening when I'm recording this. Okay, so, as you can probably tell, we are in this for the long haul. Yeah. Now, I have looked at your comments back in Google Classroom about how you're just swamped with work. I am talking with my coordinator to see if don't mind the dogs. I'm talking with coordinator to see if we can maybe lighten the workload some, or see if maybe we can not assign things every week. But until then, really consider this all just review. These are things you should know. These are things that should not take much time to do. So with that out of the way, one sec, my dog is barking. Okay, as I was saying before the Rugrats started barking, this week we are going to still, going back over our foundations, and our focus will be this time art critique. This should be an easier assignment, as for this critique I'm really only asking for 2 paragraphs, but wait, there's more. It's not that you have to scratch that. Yes, make sure it actually looks good, reads well. You're in 8th grade and 7th grade now. It's time to start using those big boy and big girl words. However, for this one, you will be given the option of recording your response rather than simply writing it down. If you write it down, use Google Docs or use Google Slides if you feel that will help you separate your thoughts out better. And from here on out, it's time to talk about how you're going to do this, rather where to get this artwork from. So, the artwork, as you'll find on Google Classroom when this is posted and on the Distance Learning website, is essentially just about anything. In fact, even this can be used. This book was donated to me, and by donated I mean I stole it. I mean it was lent to me, and, well, the world ended, so I forgot to return it. But this belongs to Ian Lee. Mr. Lee, thank you for your help on this. I will just be mailing this to your house, because Lord knows when I'll see you again otherwise. Most important with each critique is that you tell me what it is. So in this case, you just say, example, New Avengers Illuminati, and you tell me who the artist is. Now, because you can take this from anywhere, yes, using Google Arts and Culture or using artwork that you have done or someone that you know has done makes this even easier. However, if you're not sure, Google is your friend, or in this case, open the book. Because generally, the artist will be listed in the front. In this case, his writers, pencils, Jim Chung. So in this example, New Avengers Illuminati, Jim Chung. You'll be following the 4 steps. Describe, analyze, interpret, judge. And yes, I know Mrs. Scott's nails are a bit long, but Corona, what are you going to do? Describe, what are you seeing? Analyze, how did they make it? Interpret, why did they make it? What is the message that they are trying to convey? And then, finally, judge. Did they succeed in what they're trying to do? So for this part, I'm actually going to do just a quick run of a critique, so you can see, well, here, in this case, exactly how I'm doing it. Okay, so let's go over each step. Let's just back some. Okay. So, step 1, describe. Focus. Describe. What we have here are 6 figures. For those of you not know, I'm sure you at least recognize Iron Man. We have Charles Xavier from the X-Men, Namor the Submariner, don't worry about him, Miss Fantastic, probably comes to a theater near you, Doctor Strange, Black Bolt, you definitely won't know him. These 6 men have been within comics for decades upon decades. They each represent some form of superpower within the Marvel Universe. The colors here tend to be kind kind of muted, actually. Even with the bright reds of Doctor Strange's cape and Iron Man's armor, and heck, he even has gold, the colors have all very kind of gray, kind of dulled sheen to them. So, yes, these are heroes, but that use of color kind of takes away some of that heroic connotation, especially helped by the fact there's so much black for the shading. The shading here, as you can see, has very little gradient and a lot of spot blacks, or the Batman shade as we call it. There we go. Now we go on to analyze. How do they make it? Obviously this is made with pencils, inks. The coloring is fully digital. Trust me, comics really don't paint anymore. They tend to do everything on things like Clip Studio Paint, Photoshop is a big one. However, as I said in the describe portion, which could actually be used in the analyze portion as well, every color here is dulled. It's like they took the base colors, the golden yellow and the red for Iron Man, using that same red for Doctor Strange's cape, all the same shading of gold. Even the skin tones, everything has been dulled down, probably with a thin layer of gray. And then the shading, because our light source is up here, starts to get darker and even boosts that dullness as we get closer towards the legs. There we go, there's analyze. Now interpret. What message was trying to be conveyed here? The fact that, yes, these are heroes, but they are up to something that is not very heroic. For those of you that actually read Marvel Comics, which is probably 4 of you have all my classes, the Illuminati, and you've heard of the Illuminati, just not Marvel's Illuminati, because, hey, that's original, is supposed to be a shadowy group of people that really run things in the background. In this case of Marvel's version, it's these 6 men from 6 different power sets, ranging from magic to alien to cosmic to technology to genetics to just place of birth, and manipulating how things go in the superhuman community from the shadows. Basically, no fight happens without them knowing about it, no invasion happens unless they are ready for it, and every threat is taken care of even if their teams aren't called to take care of them. Because of how close they all are, it shows that this is a tightly knit, carefully picked pact of men. But because of that, notice how none of them are facing one another. Doctor Strange has his back to Mr. Fantastic. Namor has his back to everyone over here. He's only facing the same direction as Charles Xavier, who also represents mutants. Iron Man has his back to everyone. Black Bolt has his back to everyone. Really, the only one that is facing anyone closest would be Mr. Fantastic, and that's only because he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. So this arrangement, this setup of characters here is meant to show that yes, they are close-minded in their desire to control things and save the world before even knows it's in danger. But the fact that they are not looking at one another, that this doesn't look so much like a gang of men with all the best ideas, but just 6 dudes who all have their own desires and they just happen to align. It shows that they maybe don't trust one another implicitly. Boom, there you go. There is the interpret portion. Finally, we go into judge. Did they succeed in conveying this message? And I would say this is a rousing success in terms of showing that, yeah, this is all the best intentions, but this is doomed to failure. Anyone who's actually read this book would know that, yeah, the Illuminati does not last long, simply because there are too many agendas. You have 6 guys with one idea and 6 different ideas of how to get there, and you can bet that step 5 or step 6 of those plans involves any of these guys being taken out of the equation. Because really, can you imagine Tony Stark sharing anything? There you go, that's it. I probably covered this in about 2, maybe 3 minutes, only because I tend to pause when I talk. And you can do this with anything. You can literally take, let's see here. literally take a video game cover and do the exact same thing. Art is subjective, and what counts as art is even more subjective. So find what is art to you and give me your feelings about it. Because this isn't going over your classmates' stuff. You're going like, okay, this is how you can improve. I just want your analysis. I want your feelings, your personal beliefs. Don't worry about trying to correct them because they're not going to hear you. Now, with that said, everything will be ready in Google Classroom by the time this video goes up. I know that turn rate has been kind of slow, okay, devastatingly slow. I mean, last I saw it was only single digits. And we're going to tell you to focus on your course first and do this on the side when you get a chance. Right now, my desire is to make sure that your foundations are strengthened before you move on to your next art class, whether it be with myself or Miss McGross, or if you're going to the high school with Miss Frey. Alright, with that said, well, I say that a lot and you find a new catchphrase. All of you, stay safe, don't do anything stupid, practice your social distancing, wear your mask, and don't do anything illegal. Mr. Scott out.